Karla Estrada. I'm the Deputy Superintendent of Academics and Student Support Services for Equity Team in Boston Public Schools, which I think is important to just highlight what these departments consist of, because I think it'll help explain also what's the strategy that we're using to expand executive functioning. So at the department, I have the honor of working with the Department of Special Education, English Language Learners, Opportunity Achievement Gap, Academics, and the Social Emotional Learning and Wellness Office. So Boston Public Schools is about 125 schools, over 55,000 students. We have a special education population about 20%. 31% of our students are English learners, and we have over 10,000 staff, ranging from teachers to assistants and so on. The thing about Boston Public Schools also important to know is when you look nationally on how we are doing as a district, we do very well on standardized assessments. However, when we start to dig deeper, we have been very clear in understanding that we have a very serious problem of practice. And this problem of practice is one in which, for many, would be no surprise, but it's very clear that there are certain students in our system who have been marginalized. And since I'm at a Learning Differences conference, many of you know who those students are. And we believe it's a deep responsibility for us to recognize that the way we've been doing things don't work for all of our students. Now, as a public school system, we may think, well, that's something that we need to adjust with the times, but I want to highlight a couple other things of why looking at executive functioning skills is so important. When you look at executive functioning skills, you can see that the 21st century skills of the future, the jobs of the future, they're looking for people who think differently. They're looking for people who do learn differently. Think about the most helpful things in your life that make your life so much easier. The things that are really meaningful and make a difference. Yes, your cell phones are one of those. But it took somebody who thought about the world differently that made that possible. It is those creative skills. It is those communication skills. It's those collaboration skills and those critical thinking skills that we need to make sure our young people are prepared for. So although I know that we have students who have been marginalized in the system, we in Boston Public Schools really deeply believe that the reason why is because also the way we want to teach and learn in our schools isn't working for some of our kids. And guess what? It's also not necessarily preparing our kids for the 21st century. So Boston Public Schools has been on a journey of setting some very clear college and career life skills. If you expect, I don't know about you, but for myself, when I was in college, I know that I changed my mind on a couple things a lot of times, but you know what helped me? Was having a very clear plan that let me know what my choices were ahead of time, what were some of the things I needed to think about when I made those choices. Those are things that we sometimes forget. Our young people need those extra supports and skills to be ready to make those choices. So we were very clear, and as we're setting college, career, and life readiness skills, pathways, that we knew that we needed to make sure that our students had the skill sets to be able to meet that. We also knew that we needed to make it clear to the system, to our wonderful teachers, to our wonderful classrooms, to our wonderful school leaders, what did we mean, and did we all agree on quality teaching? So we established, as an instructional roundtable, worked very carefully to make sure that we identified what we call the essentials for instructional equity. And I encourage you to go to our website to see some examples of what that looks like. You'll be able to see some competencies. This is the awesome part about our essentials for instructional equity. That instructional roundtable I told you about, we work together to make sense of these things. And again, as you look at these, you see that executive functioning skills we need to live through each and every single one of those. So we've also been on a journey in partnership with the Learning Differences, through learning from our Learning Differences participation conference that we did last year, but also by working directly with the SMARTS team. It has been something that has really transformed how we started to look at executive functioning. One of the things that I want to make sure I make clear, how many of you are special educators in the room? Look around, folks. How many are general education teachers? Friends, we need to bring more of our general education partners to this conference. It is important for people to see that executive functioning skills are wonderful and essential for everyone. Basic things we accomplish in life. Everybody's got that to-do list. My favorite thing to do with my to-do list is go back and add things and then cross it off because I feel like it just makes me feel good. So that's one of the things that we wanted to be explicit. So let me tell you a couple of projects, specific projects that we've been doing. Excellence for All. Excellence for All was one of those awakening moments for us in Boston Public Schools where we realized rigorous and enriching learning experiences were not happening for all of our kids, so what are we going to do about it? In particular, in Boston Public Schools at least, we had some strong foundations in early childhood, but we knew we were missing a gap right before that real high school pathway experience, that 4th to 6th grade. And any of you who've been 4th to 6th grade teachers, you know what I'm talking about. You're trying to get kids really ready for some big decision making and some self-management skills that without them, we know our kids struggle. So Excellence for All is grounded in these pillars. We are piloted in 13 schools and we will be continuing to expand from our learning and project. And again, I'm very excited that the SMART team has been part of our piloting to help us to understand how does executive functioning live in an enriching and rigorous learning experience. We've been focused on key schools who have fully embraced it. These are a couple of our schools. These are forward-thinking leaders, forward-thinking teachers who understand that this is not just for certain kids, this is for all of our kids. One big aspect where our students get to be able to demonstrate what learning they've had and how the pillars actually live in their teaching and learning experiences is through a capstone. I will be happy to share the presentation so you can take a look at our performance task that at the end of the year students have to demonstrate in order to be able to show what learning they've had. It's also our opportunity to see how they've actually put those executive functioning skills to practice. We've also had another project that we've called MTSS Math Course. One of the things that we found as we've been increasing rigorous learning experiences, or what we call cognitively demanding tasks in our schools, is something that I'm sure you have seen with your own students. Identity, which is something that is essential and that was spoken about earlier around executive functioning, is this self-awareness and self-identity of knowing that you can complete rigorous tasks. How many have worked with students before that you've given them the opportunity and they look at it and feel push it away, throw it away, or just shut down? That's right. It's an identity factor that we have to work with. So we've realized that as we continue to roll out content-specific supports, that we need to integrate executive functioning into our own content-related materials. So as you can see here, we've been able to build courses that we'll be rolling out next year that integrate not just math shifts concepts, but also executive function in order to ensure that our students realize that they really can be that mathematician, that scientist. That's the work that executive functioning skills can do for our kids. As you can see here, it's reflected in promoting a mathematical mindset. So with that, I will leave you with that, but I think it's just a sharing with you. I hope to see that in Boston Public Schools, we hope that you can see us as a partner for you all as well, because it's not something that I believe alone we will be able to solve and integrate, but I do feel that it's something that needs to be integrated throughout all of our learnings. Our goal in Boston Public Schools is to make sure from pre-K to 12, our students have the necessary skills, especially executive functioning skills, to be successful. So please know that we're here as a resource for you in the future. Thank you.